Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of AWS Mastery course. So in this particular session, we are going to learn about the IAM multi-factor authentication. In this particular session, we are going to learn practically like how we can enhance the security by applying multi-factor authentication. So how we can do that, let's understand in this particular session. So before starting this session, let me, tell you something. So I hope like you all are using Instagram, Gmail, Facebook, LinkedIn as well. So in each and every platform, we are having multi-factor authentication system, or we can say we are having two-factor authentication. So the thing is, let's suppose you are using LinkedIn. So in order to, log into your LinkedIn, like you are just having one password. So after entering your password, when you just hit enter, you will get one another window, okay, in which like it will ask you to enter the OTP. So whether you are getting the OTP on your mobile phone or on your email, this extra layer, this extra, second layer of security is known as multi-factor authentication. Means you are just implementing, more than one way of, logging into or sign into a particular resource or particular platform. So this thing is known as multi-factor authentication. So when you are using like two factor, so it is known as two factor authentication. And if you're having three factor, like you can say it is a three factor authentication. So these days, like for the security purposes, there are lots of softwares, there are lots of platforms like in which we are having three factor authentication as well, but generally we use two factor authentication. But as a whole, in this concept, we are just studying about the multi-factor authentication. Okay, so this multi-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security by requiring two or more authentication factors, whether it's a password or any device or something like that. So in AWS, like we are having something called multi-factor authentication, and we are having different ways by which we can actually perform multi-factor authentication. So why we need multi-factor authentication? Because it enhances the security. Okay, so enhancing the security means it can actually protect your resources, protect your accounts, against the unauthorized access to your account or your, I can say, resources. Okay, so I can say these days like passwords are getting compromised easily. So for that you need the extra layer, or I can say you need the second layer of security in your system. And next we are having prevents account breaches. Let's suppose like you are just doing something and you are getting a random email, and out of curiosity you are getting panic and you're just clicking on it. I can say you're just getting hacked, or someone is just using a phishing kind of method or any social engineering method, and they are getting your password. So in that scenario, the second method of authentication is going to help you a lot. So this thing is known as multi-factor authentication. So now the next thing we are having is types of MFA, like types of multi-factor authentications. So we are having hardware tokens, we are having software tokens, we are having SMS codes. So generally we are using SMS codes in different services. And for hardware, like we are having hardware devices connected to our system. So whenever we want to log in into the system, so we get the a password into that device. Okay, so generally we don't have hardware tokens available easily, but these software tokens are very much available. And we are having a very, I can say, interesting tool which is known as Google Authenticator. So what we are doing, we are just downloading this Google Authenticator app from the Android store or from the iOS store as well. And whenever we are trying to log in into your, I can say, AWS account, we'll be having code into this particular tool. So I'm going to tell you like practically how you can use this multi-factor authentication, like the software token part. Okay, and now let's try to implement the multi-factor authentication IAM. And how we can do that, let me just show you. Let's go to our AWS console and let's understand this. So as you can see, like I'm in my AWS console, like I can say IAM dashboard. And so as you can see, like we are getting something like security recommendation, add MFA for root user. We are getting this multi-factor authentication just on our dashboard directly. So now let's just click on add MFA. And okay, so we are having this MFA, and here I'm just adding my device name. So I'm just saying my device. Okay, and which MFA device you are going to use, whether you are going to use passkey or security key, or I can say any authenticator app or any hardware token. So as of now, we are going to use authenticator app. So let me just click on it, and then let's just click on next. Okay. So now it is going to set up the device. So first you just need to install the Google Authenticator app in your Android mobile or in your iOS. Okay. So as you can see, like I'm having my mobile phone with me, and here like I'm just going to download the Google Authenticator app, and I can say like you guys can actually see in your on your screen, like I'm having something like this. This is Google Authenticator app, and you just have to click on install. Okay, so this is how it actually looks like. This is known as Google Authenticator app. So you just have to search Google Authenticator on your Google Play Store, or I can say on your Android store, like iOS store. You will get this. So it will get installed, I can say, very easily. And then so once you are done with this, like you will get the option like this, and it is saying add a code, and like we are getting this I can say code scanner. Okay, so we are getting this code scanner, and here on your screen you will see like get a QR code. Okay, so after doing this, like I'm getting this particular code, okay, in my mobile phone. So we need to add the code over here. Okay, and the code which I'm going to enter is 661 and 158, and then we have to wait and we'll get the another code, okay, for after 30 seconds. So another code which I'm getting is 937 and 655. So we got the two different I can say code, and then let's just click on add MFA. Okay, so as you can see, like I'm using this email ID, and we are just getting what I can say, I have just set up the multi-factor authentication to our root user. Okay, what we have having, we have just set up the multi-factor authentication to our user. So now here we are getting assigned MFA device. So we have just used this virtual MFA device. So it totally depends on you whether you are doing it or not. And now let's just understand like how we can proceed further. So we have just set up the device. So let me just, so as you can see, like we have just set up the multi-factor authentication. So now let's just log out from this particular account. Okay, so I'm just signing out, and I will try to sign in again. Let me just start with this. So I'm using the account like it is a root user, and I'm using the account of one of my student. So this is not my email address. Okay, so we are done. So it is saying like just enter the MFA code. So it is written like your account is secured using multi-factor authentication. To finish signing in, turn on or view your MFA device and type the authentication code. So you will see open your Google Authenticator app, and you will see one code, and you have to enter this code into this particular box, and this code is getting renewed in after 30 seconds. Okay, in like in every 30 seconds you are getting a new code, and sometimes like it actually shows some error. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. So 390429. Okay, so this is the code which I'm actually getting. So let me just click on submit. So it is saying authentication failed, like it is showing some error. So now let me just enter the password again, because sometimes I told sometimes like it shows some error. So you don't have to worry about this. Okay, so another code which I am actually entering 973312, and as you can see in the second time I'm getting the access of my AWS account. So this is how we can actually understand the concept of multi-factor authentication practically. So I hope you guys are very much clear with this. So now let me just open multi-factor authentication so that we can just remove the multi-factor authentication, because we don't need any kind of multi-factor authentication as of now. Okay, so As you can see, we are having this thing over here, and it is saying root user has MFA. And now what we are going to do, we are just going to remove this multi-factor authentication. So now let's just search for MFA. So it is saying just manage for MFA for for these particular users. So let's just find where we are having MFA options. So as you can see, like we are having few options. So here in the quick links, we are having my security credentials, and here it is written like manage your access keys, multi-factor authentication, and other credentials as well. So let's just click over here, and we are getting lots of options. So here we are having multi-factor authentication. Let's just click over here like virtual and just remove it. Okay, so we can just remove it, and from now onwards, like it is not going to ask you for the multi-factor authentication. Okay, so this is how you can implement the multi-factor authentication, and this is how you can remove the multi-factor authentication from your particular AWS account. Okay, so we have implemented multi-factor authentication with the help of Google Authenticator app on our root access, and we have removed it successfully as well. And also I have demonstrated you like how you can log in into your AWS account by using code which we are getting from the Google Authenticator app. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood each and everything, I can say in a very practical manner. So I hope you guys are going to implement all these things into your projects or into your AWS groups, AWS resources, or in your AWS accounts. So I hope you guys have understood like how we can implement multi-factor authentication and how we can enhance the security of AWS services. That's it for now. Let's meet in the next session. Till then, just take care of yourself. Thank you so much.